Stalker? When I, F20, was younger, maybe around 13 to 14, I was walking to town with my mother. I live in a smallish town in England. It was a quick walk, 15 minutes, but about 5 minutes after leaving my house I had one of the most unsettling encounters ever. Whilst walking, there was a man approaching us. Nothing weird at this point. I thought he'd walk past us like everyone else. However, this random man leaned in towards me as he was walking past, and whispered something to me. I remember it being creepy and along the lines of him knowing where I lived. It was subtle and happened quickly. I was shocked, especially since my mother was right next to me. Bold move from a creepy guy. I recall the man being possibly in his late 20s, kind of scruffy looking, a little chubby, with longish brown hair and a beard. But I knew I'd never seen him before this point. I waited a few seconds for us to distance ourselves from the stranger, then turned to my mom completely freaked out and quietly asked if she heard what that guy had said. She said she didn't. I thought maybe I'd misinterpreted the situation or misheard him then. We kinda brushed it off and continued with our day. I felt uneasy but tried not to think about it. Rest of the day was fairly normal. Until the morning after when my dad was talking to our neighbor. Neighbor told my dad that during the early hours of the morning, there was a man lurking right outside our houses for some time, hovering around my dad's and neighbor's cars. Now this is really weird because we live in a kind of closed off area. The only people we see outside our homes are neighbors, but even they wouldn't come right up to our doors, especially not at like 2/3 am. Even delivery drivers can't find our house most of the time because we're hidden away. This has never happened before, and never happened again after this, at least to our knowledge. Of course you can imagine how absolutely terrified I was to hear this. I explained to my dad what had happened the day before, and reminded my mom, kind of an I told you so moment. I felt so scared to be in my own home. I remember calling my friend and talking about the situation. We researched about what we could do, but there wasn't really any action we could take, just had to be observant and cautious I guess. I can't remember much about what happened after that, but I never saw the man again. The whole situation creeps me out and it doesn't make sense. The man outside my house wasn't confirmed to be the same man that walked past me earlier as it was too dark to make out any discernible features, but it sure is an amazing coincidence if so. Never knew where to talk about this experience, but I figured it belongs here. I'd love to hear your opinions and theories.